this is Adam, and welcome to the first ever Moonlight review of episode 1. I have a special guest for now, my cat. We'll see if she stays here a lot. Anyways, what can I tell you about the first episode of Moonlight? Well, before I get to that, I might as well go through all of the reasons why I'm deciding to review the TV show now. Which basically isn't that many, but you might just wonder, why now? The show aired such a long time ago. Well, not too long, but the point is I'm doing it now largely because I was gonna watch through the episodes again and figured I might as well bring entertainment and make a YouTube channel, and I can review this TV show Moonlight since I'm watching through it again, especially since there's other things to do well. I mean, could just watch it through it again normally, but why? I can review it as well. And now that this is a cat video, I'm sure this will get hits. Yeah. Also, as you can tell, I'm kind of awkward right now at the beginning, because I am kind of very new to this. So hopefully everything will go well with the reviews and stuff. And now I've been talking for nearly 2 minutes, and I need to get to the review. When Moonlight, the series premiere, started, there was this there's Mick St. John talking to a reporter off camera. But this isn't actually happening. This is just him imagining what it could be like if he could tell people that he's a vampire. And I think the reporter sounds like Beth, who we'll meet later. But the vampire is named Mick St. John, played by Alex O'Loughlin, most well known as the new Commander McGarrett in Hawaii 5-0. He's done other roles too, but this was before 5-0. And so he's a vampire, but the vampires might be a bit different than the ones you're familiar with. Because holy water, that does nothing. It makes him wet, but it won't get rid of him. The cross, that really doesn't do much. He says garlic tastes good on pizza, but this is sort of contradicted by future episodes where it's like regular food just turns to ash, and that's why they need blood and can't just eat regular food. But what can kill vampires? Well, the main ways he talks about, they lose their heads, so you decapitate them, and fire. Fire is especially bad. Other things we learn from at least this episode is that sun can drain vampires, but it doesn't just instantly kill them. And stakes, I don't think we learned this fully yet, but stakes more paralyze them instead of just straight up killing them. And so he's talking, I guess, to the audience as the narrator, even though I don't know if his character is self-aware. We never see Mick turn to the camera and just talk to the audience like that. Basically, it starts, we learn more about him and a woman who was a girl at one point, and he saved her life. And we learn that through flashbacks in the episode. He effectively, his vampire wife had kidnapped her, trying to unite them, and then he stabs her leader in a burning building, and basically her, she's left there in the burning building as he walks away, and somehow forgets that he shouldn't be letting this girl look at the thing that's going on. He should maybe tell her to close her eyes or not face her towards this burning body, who does not seem paralyzed, even though this has taken her. But I guess that might be due to the strength of vampire that she is, although it's never quite really explained how she's able to move with the stake in her. And they explain more about who this wife is later in the series. So now this woman's grown up. Her name is Beth. She's a reporter at BuzzWire, which is it's sort of a tabloid magazine, but not really that bad, or at least not starting out. Don't want to get in too much into future episodes yet. So there's this dead body that shows up with bite marks in its neck, and Beth, just trying to do this publicity thing, just makes the headline about vampires. And Mick, getting wind of the story, shows up there and he's like, oh, there's no such thing as vampires. And he's a vampire who's saying it, which is kind of interesting to say the least. So there he is, and then he disappears, and the story gets out, and we talk some to other vampires Vic knows, such as the mortician guy, I forget his name, and then I should know his name, but the one best friend of his that we see. But we'll get more into him later. I forget if I wrote this in my notes somewhere. Excuse me, just kind of burped there. Anyways, the vampires don't want publicity because they don't want people to know that they're real. So Mick further investigates it, and at one point in the episode early on, he's at a crime scene and Beth is at the same crime scene. And then she doesn't know that he's there, and she just has a bottle out in her hand. Maybe I can demonstrate it with this cow. Basically, she hits the head with the bottle, and he just turns to her and nonchalantly says, ouch. It's funny. I might need to find a link to a scene if I can and put it in the description, because it's just hilarious the way he's nonchalantly there. So they work together to solve the case. He's at the funeral, and the main suspect of the episode is a professor who's kind of creepy, and he tells people that he's a vampire. And Mick talks to him, and based on some sort of smell sense that real vampires in the show have, we learn he is not a vampire. He is a human, but why is he telling that? We don't know. The wife says, yeah, he knows he's a creep, he's cheated on her, and so we don't know much about what's going on. And then there's another person who winds up dead that we see briefly, a woman, and I think it's the same person who kills them both, because Beth goes undercover in the professor's group just talking about things. And what she says is basically that, or what she learns is trying to do a secret study group, and then he's all creepy doing one-on-one time with her, and basically this is after the actual study group left. Basically, he realizes that she's recording him and tries to attack and chase after her, but basically Mick is there to intervene, and then the actual killer, and this is one of those plotting flaws we see from time to time. I guess writing flaw is a better name. He's sort of the assistant of the professor. He's led to believe to kill, I think, both of the people in the episode. He tries to get Beth and drives away in the car, and basically he gets caught and I think sent to jail because Mick got him or whatever. And then Beth is starting to look at Mick and maybe like, I think I know this man because of from the past. But she doesn't have it all quite figured out yet. She thinks that he saved her before. And that's pretty much all there is to recap in the first episode. Hold on 1 second. To me, it seems like one of the flaws that the killer of the episode did, this assistant, was basically getting out of the car and going around it. I guess it had crashed when Mick had gone after it. Well, I know what happened. It's just, remember, I didn't write everything in the notes. And basically, he tries to get her out or something, but that's when Mick's able to get him. It's kind of a flaw in my mind, but I'll try not to get into the flaws. I'll try to be positive, although this guy named Lee has a way more positive channel than I could ever hope to. And basically, that was the first episode. I don't know when I'll be back with the second one. I might be doing other videos and other series to the side, especially if I can see this new show on Sunday that I want to see. And you'll see what all will happen later, and once I have all the episodes watched and videos made, I'll make sure to do a playlist of them. And I think that's about it. Hopefully I wasn't too awkward with this and you couldn't tell too easily the 2 times I paused. And I guess the one thing I want to make sure, regardless of if I'm reviewing this or something else, is I want to be objective, try to point out the good and the bad, because you don't always see that. You normally see just pointing out flaws, or sometimes you see pointing out the good things. And Lee's YouTube channel, like I talk about, this is called Cinema Wins. I recommend it a lot. Anyways, I think that is all for now. I will see you in the next video. And this is one of my cats. Maybe you'll see her again, maybe you won't.